Hello, everybody. I'm excited to be able to do this quick webinar with you guys. It is our Overflow and Abundance webinar, and we are going to be having our classes, our webinars, every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't get to watch it or you have to leave, they will be posted on shannonhudsonyl.com, so you can watch the replay. You can also go to my YouTube channel, and you can watch it there, and you are welcome to share it with absolutely anybody. And if you are listening to this because somebody else sent it to you and you decide, you know what, I really want to get started, I want to partner with Young Living, I want to do this, then go ahead and get back with the person that sent you this webinar or the person that introduced you to Young Living, and they will help you get started. So we're going to just go ahead and get going here. If I can get my screen to move, here we go. All right, so who am I? Who am I that I'm sitting here sharing with you and talking to you? I think you should know the people that are speaking into your life. So my name is Shannon Hudson. I am a diamond with Young Living. I was introduced back in February 2007, and I like to joke that I was introduced against my will. I wanted really nothing to do with the company for all kinds of different reasons. And next Tuesday, we're going to be doing a webinar that has to do with healthy, happy animals and having oily babies that are nice and healthy. So you'll hear a little bit more about my health journey, but right now I just want to talk about my business journey, that wellness and abundance. We were introduced to Young Living when we lived in Flint, Michigan. It is a poverty-ridden area. We were broke, making $11,000 a year, cleaning toilets. That's who we were. And when we were introduced, we had been in multiple different MLMs. We had done all kinds of different companies. And no matter what we did, we just could not seem to get it to work for us. But we tried. We kept getting in things. We kept trying things because as a mom living in Flint, Michigan, I had 4 little ones. We were homeschoolers. I was always looking for something that I could make an extra $200 or $300, $300 or $400, so that we were able to do the mom thing, stay at home, be with the kids, and still have groceries. I thought that was kind of important, be able to feed my kids and do those different things. But we got married at the age of 18, and to give you an idea, when I say we were broke, to give you an idea of how broke we were when we got married at 18, it was a potluck wedding. Bring a dish to pass, and you can be there with the wedding, and that's just kind of who we were. We went camping for our honeymoon. And when we came back from our honeymoon at the age of 18, my cousin was over. Lane Stanford was drawing the circles, and he was building this dream of the possibility and introducing us to network marketing. And I fell in love with the concept instantly. Well, like I said, I tried it and I tried it and I tried it. And there was so much that I had to learn, so many changes I had to make in me, that it just was not working out for us no matter how hard we tried. So by the time my girlfriend, my stalker, who you'll hear a little bit more about later, by the time she started sharing with me on Young Living, we had gotten to the point where I didn't want to even get my hopes up again. I didn't want to try another network marketing company. And actually for about 5 years before she introduced us, my husband finally said to me, baby girl, you cannot go to a purse party. You can't go to a cooking party. You can't go to any of those, because you're going to get excited. You're going to think you can do it better than the person showing, and you're going to come home with a purse kit. You have to stop. And it wasn't that he didn't want me to have all these kits, because we had a ton of kits in the basement, but it's because he didn't want to see me get my hopes up that life was going to be different, that financially we could be in a different place, because we were making $11,000 a year cleaning toilets, and we were at that spot. And he said, baby, just no more. I cannot watch you go up and down, up and down. And so when my stalker started talking about the oils, my head was really in the sand. I did not want to hear about anything else. I didn't care how great it was, how magical it was. I didn't care about the possible abundance, because each company does it different, and I didn't care. I just didn't care, and I wanted to stay that way. Well, after my stalker stalked me down for about 3 months, and when I say stalk, I mean stalk. Every time we got together, she talked about it. Wherever we were, she talked about it. She was leaving CDs on my doorknob. She's like, come on, you got to try these amazing oils. It's great, and it's great. And I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? But after stalking me down for about 3 months, felt like 3 years, my girlfriend finally got the oils on me. And when she did, I'm telling you, it was like my eyes were opened. I suddenly realized that there were options, that we were supposed to feel good. We were supposed to have energy. And my hope, I finally had hope back, because that's what I had given up with. That's what I had given up on my dreams. And I knew that the vision of who Young Living was, I could partner with that. I could partner with that hope, but that hope was in every single area. Now, mind you, I still didn't want to do MLMs. I still didn't think they worked. I knew that nobody makes money. There's no abundance in network marketing. It just doesn't work that way. So I still when you look at it that way, I still had my head in the sand. I was still in that same position where I believed that there was really no option and it was just going to stay like that. No matter how much I love the products, there's no business. There's no money to be made. Well, when I was introduced and I started feeling so much different, I knew that I had to tell other people. I knew that I had to give other people the same opportunity I had been given. My life had been changed. I have to share that with other people. And that's what I chose to do. I went out and I decided I made this deal with God. I would share every Thursday. It was homeschool group. And that's when I had time. And that's the only time I wasn't cleaning. And at homeschool group, the kids would play and I would talk to the parents. And every single Thursday, I went into homeschool group. I introduced Young Living to one person. I handed them the application. I said, here, fill this out. They put all their information on there. And I told them there's a world of people out there that need to know there's a difference. Tell them. So, and I like to say this, people are like, what made you want to just do it that way up front? Why didn't you do samples? Why didn't you, give all this information or deliver or any of that? Because I just handed them an application, had them fill it out, and I would take the application. And it's because my husband had clearly stated that for us, network marketing was off the table. We weren't going to do it anymore. So although I felt a need to tell people that they could change their lives, I knew that I could not have product coming to my house because then he would know. So that's kind of where we were. So every Thursday I introduced it one person. I did that every Thursday for 4 weeks. 1 full month I did that. Well, shortly thereafter, of course, what comes in the mail? You get the check. And I was like, ooh, not so bad. This is nice. I see my check. We had enrolled 4 people. Each of them got the Everyday Oil Kit and the Raindrop Kit. So I got a nice little check and I was able to get some more product. It wasn't millions of dollars, but it was enough that I could get another Raindrops Kit and I could get the Everyday Oil Kit. And then I started on that great juice because I'd heard a little bit about the juice and I wanted to try the juice. And I did the math. I said, that's okay. I can introduce it to one person a week. And that means next month I'll be able to do the same thing because by now I was kind of addicted to the oils. I loved them. I loved how I felt. I liked the energy. That's what I wanted for me. And I said, that's it. Let's do this thing. And I introduced it to one person every Thursday. Now that second check, I'm here to tell you that second check, woo! My husband knew about that check because when I opened that, I was dancing down the sidewalk. I'm like, woo, 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 running back to the house because it was mind-boggling to me, the change that took place. And this was just my second month. I shared with one person a week. And when I got that check and I showed my husband, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't understand it. So I called my stalker and I said, Sherry, what in the world happened? How did I go from 4 people month 1 to this nice little check to 4 people month 2 and the check was so big? And she said, I have no idea. I don't know. Because that was her answer to most everything. And so we went upline. I went upline until I found somebody who could explain the money to me. And we have on our website, Shannon Hudson YL, a video that's called Show Me the Money. And I highly recommend you go watch that because I'm not going to go in depth on our compensation plan today, but I want you to be aware that there is huge upfront money. There's percentages that you get. We get paid a bonus on their Start Living Kit. We get paid a bigger bonus on the products that they order in their first couple months. We also get a bonus, an extra, I like to call it the forever bonus that we get when our people that we enroll, when they enroll new people, we get bonuses on them that are bigger as well in their first 3 months. Now, this was exciting. That's that upfront money. That's why my check went so big. It's because those first 4 people that I introduced, you know what they did? They knew that they were surrounded by people just like me, whose heads were in the sand, who didn't know there was an option, who didn't know that we could feel better, who didn't know that prosperity is right around the corner. And it's out there for all of us. It's there. It's out there for us to reach out and touch. And my life was changed that day. I decided that afternoon when they showed me how the money was made and what the possibility was, and I already seen how amazing our products were. I already felt so different. I had friends that felt different. I said, you know what? I can either clean toilets for a living or I can change lives. And I decided right then, right there, that's it. I'm going to be out there. I'm going to tell those other people. I'm going to let them know that there's an option. And that's a choice that I make. And I think about it all the time. My beautiful, amazing stalker. This is Sherry. If you ever see her at any conference, any convention, anything, go hug her neck and call her a stalker because this woman saved my life. She did. She changed my life. I tell her all the time, there's nothing that she could ever ask from me that I would not do for her, because she changed my life. And I want to encourage you to understand that your upline, the people that introduced you or where you were placed, where you were put, those people, you owe them your loyalty. You need to stay with them forever and ever and ever. I don't care if Sherry ever did another thing other than just tell me that Young Living existed. She deserves that from me because my stalker, man, she went out of her way. None of you have ever been treated as poorly as I treated my stalker. I was mean. I yelled at her. I made her cry one time, and her daughter left the house, and I was not nice. I did not want these oils. She stalked me for months. There were so many things going on, but she didn't quit. And I think about it a lot. I think, man, what would have happened? What would have happened if she would have quit? If one of those times when I said no, if one of those times when I said I'm not interested, if one of those times when I said I can't stand the smell of the products, yes, I said that. The first oil I was introduced to was oregano. It was gross. I didn't like it. It gave me a headache. I'm like, that's disgusting. I don't want to use that stuff. What if she would have said no? What would have happened to them? And by them, I mean all the other people. Because see, when I was introduced to Young Living, it didn't just change my life. It changed my husband. It changed my daughter, my kids. Their lives were radically and dramatically changed. They were changed physically. They were changed spiritually, emotionally, financially. I look at some of my friends and I see where they came from. Some of my friends that were just like me, we were on assistance. We needed the government to be able to take care of us. We were broke. And so were the people that I hung around with, because you hang around with the people that are in the same situation as you. And how many people's lives were changed physically. Some of these people, I listen to their stories and I see where they were when they were introduced to Young Living and where they are now. And it's a world of difference. And I think to myself, man, what would have happened? What would have happened to them if Sherry would have stopped sharing? Because that's all it ever is. It's a message. What would have happened to them? What would have happened? See, I know that my life was changed, but I also know that once something good happens to you, you have a moral and ethical obligation to tell other people. When people ask me what I do for a living, I help ordinary people become extraordinary. It's what I do. Each of us have so many things inside us that we can offer to somebody else. How you share Young Living is not going to be how I share Young Living. It's not going to be how anybody. We all are so unique, and your skills and your talents will make a way for you. That's the way it works. See, Young Living is a gift. It is an amazing, astounding gift. That gift has been given to you. You can't waste it. You have to tell other people that there are options, that there is hope. See, I tell people that their tomorrow can be different than their today in every single area of your life. That's a big deal. And if we can agree that Young Living has been a gift, I'm sure if you were sitting here today on this webinar, you can see the value of what Young Living is. It has been a gift in your life, and it has touched you in ways that I can't even imagine. And maybe it's touched you in ways we can't even share about. So if we know it has been a gift, if we know that other people need what we have, then why is it we can't just push through the stuff, the junk, the excuses, and just do it? Like, what is it that stops us? Why don't we just do it? Well, I have this theory, this world according to Shannon, that we get into Young Living and we have these amazing dreams. We have our Start Living kit. We're introduced. We see this amazing world because Young Living stands for three things. We are wellness, purpose, and abundance. All three. In wellness, we talk about wellness all day long, being above the line, having that life that feels good, that energy, that focus, that, remembering where we left the car and silly things like that, right? We got that part. But purpose, for a living, I get to walk into people's homes and give them hope. Hope, that's a big deal. That is a sense of purpose. That is life-changing. And for some of us, when we get into Young Living, we think about that, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be the next Mother Teresa, right? I'm going to go change the world. I am going to be Mother Teresa. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to help everybody. And we get this wonderful, warm feeling because do you know that we get a hormone kickback, a feel good when we help other people? God intended for us to want to reach out and touch others and help others. And we dream about what that feels like. And then we have that second side, that abundance. Young Living is an amazing, abundant company in so many different ways. And abundance is not just financial abundance. It's an abundance of time. It's an abundance of energy. It's abundance of feeling good. It's an abundance of friends. How many friends do I have now compared to where I was? It's like astronomical. And abundant finances. So when we're weaving that dream and we're thinking about it, so we've got the great health, we've got the Mother Teresa complex, and then we look at being Royal Crown Diamond, that dream, that vision of where we could go and what we could have. And there's a piece inside us that says those two can't go hand in hand. And it fights inside us because how can I want Royal Crown Diamond with the amazing lifestyle and the financial abundance that comes with that and still be okay with being Mother Teresa because I just want to save the world? But see, they can. Mary Young says, and I love this saying, she says that money in the hands of good people can do extraordinary things. And that's true. See, when you dream that dream of having that Mother Teresa and being that amazing person, being able to touch so many lives, and then having the finance to be able to finance things, to be able to do things. Look at Young Living's Foundation and how many different people have we been able to touch and help. And how much further? I know for me, when we were so broke, when we were making $11,000 a year, and I remember being pregnant with one of my babies and standing there, my other kids around me, and we were standing at Salvation Army with our utilities getting ready to be shut off. And how it works in our area is the early bird gets the worm. So they're only able to take the first set number of people. They have a certain dollar amount every day that they're able to hand out for the needy. And I remember standing in that line, being cold and hoping, counting the number of people before me and hoping that we were there early enough that we were going to be able to get our utilities taken care of. Because what if? What if I don't? I don't know where else. By the time you are standing outside the Salvation Army in the cold, in the snow with your children, you don't have a lot of other options left. And I remember praying, Father, just let us be close enough. And yet knowing that if we get in, the person next to me, she might not, or the next one, but everybody there, nobody got there because they wanted to. It was circumstances. And I remember leaning up against that building saying, Father God, if I ever get to the point where I just have just a ton of money, I would just come here and I would take every single utility bill and I would just pay it, no questions asked. And see, because the money in the hands of good people can do extraordinary things. So you can tie those together. And Brian and I have been blessed since we have been in Young Living to be able to have done that multiple times. Because we can reach out and we can touch other people's lives. And we get this dream and we get this picture going of who we're going to be and what we're going to be. And this great, amazing dream. We're like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. I'm going to talk to my friends and they're going to say, yes, 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 yes. Oh my gosh, 1,000 times yes. That is the picture of what we think is going to happen. We're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so easy. I'm just going to go out there and everybody's going to love my oils and it's going to be great. And then you go out there and you're like, man, it is unicorns and rainbows all over the place, right? This is going to be great. Then you have this picture and you're drawing this picture and you see that picture and then you have to go put the action behind it. And you get out there and you start talking to one person and they're really busy. And you see another person and they're not paying attention to you. And you see this person, oh my gosh, you see that look she gave to me. And you're out there doing, you're like, nobody's listening. Nobody wants to hear anything I say. Nobody's going to do this with me. It's hard. It's hard. I don't want to do it. It's too hard. I quit. And we give up. We talk to 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 15 people and we quit. We let that dream go. Because it was harder than we expected it to be. I want you to know, when I hear people go, oh, my check wasn't very big. I talked to like 15 people last week. It's not fair. I mean, I worked really hard. I want you to know you only have a couple of options. You do. It is 100% in your hand. You can do the 40-40-40 plan. That's where you work 40 hours a week for 40 years to retire on 40% of what you could not afford in the beginning. And it is how many hours are you going to work, and then you're going to maximize. Like, let's say you're out there and you are a massage therapist and you are a gifted person. You like to touch. It is your gifting. You love it. You enjoy it. Even if you max that out, let's say you get $100 a massage and you are doing 8 massages a day. So you're doing $800 a day and you are working 6 days a week because you are maxing it out. First of all, you're going to burn yourself out because there's only so far you can go. But then you're going to maximize. That's as far as you can go. When you are working 8 hours, 6 days doing massage, you've gotten all you can get, and it's as good as it can get. But that's work. That takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of energy. It took time to get that education. It took time to get that training. And when you are doing the gift of touch, it is draining every single time you do it. Maybe you're a painter. Maybe you go out there and you work and you scrape and you clean and you paint these houses. You still can only paint so many houses, even if you own the company. You can only paint so many. There's an end. That time for dollar, working for dollar, hour for hour, there is a maximum, it maximizes at a point. I'm just saying, there's other options. And remember, every single skill you have took time to learn. Every one of them. How about walking? Right, so little babies, they come out and they're just rolling. They can't even roll over, and they get the rolling over going, then they get the scooching going, and then they get the crawling, and they stand up and they fall down, and they stand up and they fall down, and they stand up and they fall down, and they stand up and they fall down. There's nobody you know that said as a baby, forget this crap. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done. I'm not going to try anymore. It's too hard. It hurts every time I fall down. It hurts. I don't want to do it. And they still crawl. They're 40 years old and they're still crawling, right? No, they just kept going. They got back up and they did it again. And they got back up and they did it again. They got back up and they did it again. And some of them do it at 9 months. And some of them, man, it takes them a long time. Some of them are still falling down at 18 months to 20 months because they're having a hard time getting it down. But eventually they learn the skill. And it's that way on everything. Riding a bike. Riding a bike. When you first get on that bike, it's wobbly. It's hard. And you know when you learn when you fall. Because your brain, your mind goes, whoa, we are not doing it that way again. And it changes and it adjusts. And it changes and it adjusts. But it takes time to get those skills. And we can go further. Rollerblading, skating, everything you've ever learned how to do, even handwriting. Handwriting took time. You didn't just pick up a pen and suddenly you were writing. You didn't just open up a book and suddenly you were reading. And these are basic skills. I don't understand. Why do you think Young Living would be any different? See, if you really want that abundance, if you want that overflow, if you want it, then we have to put in the time to learn the skills that it takes. There are basic skills, just like handwriting and walking. There are basic skills that you have to learn and adapt, and then you practice and mess it up, and you practice and you mess it up, and you practice and it's a little bit better, and you practice and it gets better, and your odds go up, your ratios go up. You get better and better and more comfortable until you can start doing it in your sleep. See, education, and this is for everything. But think about the investment, the time that went into your education. First, you had grade school. You didn't even have any say over that, right? You went to school. You did it because you had to go to school because that's foundational. You had high school. You didn't have any say over that either. High school happened. You went, and that whole time you were in grade school and high school, nobody paid you. Nobody gave you a check. Nobody said, here, this is what you get for investing your time. But we kept going. And a lot of people keep going. They go to college 2, 4, 6, 8 years, 10 years, residency, all of these different things, only to come out of college with student loans. 2015 college graduates, the average. So some were way, way, way higher, but student loans were $35,000. And that was after going to school for 12 to 15, 16, 18 years. You paid the right to be educated so that you could go out and perform a task, a job, a technician, a license, a diploma. You paid for that right. Because in the end, you know, it would be worth it. In the end, it was an investment in what you were going to be, how you were going to develop, and what you were going to do for a living so you could get an income. And we're all totally okay with this. Now, please do not leave this webinar and say, oh, Shannon says we don't have to go to college. There is so much merit in college. There's so much merit in getting educated on a bazillion things. It's good for our brains, first of all, not to mention some of us, our heart's desire requires us to have a diploma. I don't want all the doctors to stop going to school. We need doctors. If my arm falls off, I want one to sew it back on, right? There's skills. There are people that is their gifting, their calling. They are architects. They have a heart and desire to build and create, and that's amazing. Well, we'll go a whole nother route. How about you're sitting there and you go, I'm just going to be a real estate mogul. I'm going to make billions in real estate. I am going to be the next Donald Trump. That's who I'm going to be. I'm going to be out there making the money, and we will leave all political stuff out of this right now. We're just saying this is a man that we all know made money in what? Real estate. But what did it take? If you're going to make money in real estate, first of all, you have to have money. It takes money to get started in that route. What's the next thing? You have to buy properties, and you have to have education. You have to know location, 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 location. That's like the big important thing. What do you need? Why do you need it? What's happening? What's happening in the economy around you? What's happening in the area? Do we want to buy some rundown stuff and we're gonna have those properties? Do we want it to be in a great area? What are we looking for? All of that takes education. You have to learn how to fix and repair and understand that concept, or at least be able to organize somebody else that does. And that takes education to know the how. You have to advertise, you have to rent, you have to sell. There's time that is involved in here, massive, huge amounts of time to be able to turn this into a huge money. As a matter of fact, it takes about $2 million in real estate equity to net $10,000 a month. The first time I heard this mini presentation was from Eric Worre, and it blew my mind. That number right there, that's huge. in order to get $10,000 a month from real estate. And I'm not saying don't do that. Maybe that's you. Maybe real estate is your thing. It's your kitten. You love it. You pet it. You love that's your thing. Then you do it. You can do Young Living at the same time as you do any of these other things, but understand that the skills that it took for you to become amazing in your field, it's going to take time to get those skills in Young Living. So maybe you're going to do it the old-fashioned way, right? You're going to save, you're going to invest, you're going to retire. I mean, that is the American dream. That's like the big vision that everybody has, right? So you're going to do that, work 40 hours a week for 40 years to retire, and 40% of what you couldn't live on. That 40-40-40 plan we just talked about, that's your plan. Maybe that's what you got in your back pocket. That's what you've been thinking of. Or maybe that's what you've been working on for 20, 30, and 40 years, and suddenly retirement is getting closer, right? Well, understand that little piggy bank you've been stuffing and putting all of your extra and putting all of your investment and doing all of your savings. Do you know that it takes $1 million in an account with 5% interest rate to have a $4,200 monthly retirement income? You put those pennies away for all of that time, looking for that payout, that big payout where you get to really enjoy the journey. You know, you've put in your time, and you're going to end at $4,200, which for most people that have that $1 million that they could invest, $4,200, I don't think that was the dream. I'm just saying the time had to be put in. And why? What is it? What's the real question we're asking when it comes to Young Living? Can you really make money in Young Living? I know that was my thought. When my stalker kept talking to me, we had already decided nobody makes money in network marketing. They just don't. We heard the stories. We knew people we had been told. But for us, the reality was it just didn't work. But I have to say, I don't believe that. Young Living, we are unique and special. We are the world leader in essential oils. Like, that's undebatable. I know there's other companies out there, and I know that you can buy them at gas stations and dollar stores and all these other places. But the truth is, and every single one of those other companies, when you look at their literature, when you talk to other distributors and other businesses, at some point they say, we're as good as Young Living, but, because we're the measuring stick. We are what all of the rest of those companies want to be. And even stepping outside of essential oils, we are a first-class multi-level marketing company. In other words, we've got a huge, amazing reputation as a fantastic multi-level marketing company. We've been around for over 20 years in the MLM business. That's amazing. Everybody's always gotten their checks. There's never been a problem with somebody getting their checks. There's never been a problem with that type of a thing. We have that first-class reputation. We've been around for a long time, and we are a top wellness industry. Even if you took all of the essential oils out of our catalog, one of other amazing wellness products, we do. We've got supplements. We've got body care. We've got house care. We've got laundry soap. Are you kidding me? We are a top wellness industry. Like, we are known, we are well known in the network marketing company. We've been around. We're well known in the wellness industry. And then you have the proof. See, there's this thing. If somebody has done it, anybody can do it. Like, there's not a person that they were just, oh, they're so lucky. There are a ton of silvers and golds, not just in the past that achieve those ranks, but that are achieving those ranks every single month. And we don't hide that. You can look at our monthly newsletter and you can see all the new people hitting silver in 6, executive in 3, all these great different ranks that are going, platinums, diamonds. They're there. It's happening all the time. Our platinums, our diamonds, there's a ton of them. There's a truckload of them. And they're not even secret, quiet people, man. They're all over. You can talk to them. Crown diamonds, royal crown diamonds. They're not so set apart that they can't socialize with us. You can go to Facebook right now and you can throw a rock and you will find one, and they will answer questions, and their stuff is open and about, because Young Living, we're different. Young Living, we partner together. But that doesn't answer the question. The question is, can you really make money in Young Living? Right? That's the question. We know that we're world leaders. We know we are top in the wellness industry. We know we are an amazing MLM company. We know that there's silvers, golds, platinums, diamonds, crown diamonds, and royal crown diamonds. Oh my. But can you make money? So let's go on a little bit more. There was a book written back in 2007 by Paul Zane Pilsner. It was called The New Wellness Revolution. And Paul Zane Pilsner is a world-renowned economist. He has counseled to presidents. He has counseled around the world. He is like the economist of the day. And back in 2007, the wellness industry was a $200 billion industry. And he predicted that in the next 10 years, it would become $1 trillion industry. That's his book. It was written in 2007. That was his thing. So we are now sitting here in 2016. And was he right? See, the wellness. So you understand what the wellness industry is. Wellness is, wellness is vitamins. It is the essential oils. It is acupressure. It is chiropractor. It is pretty much any woo-woo thing that's out there that anything other than MDs, anything other than pharmaceuticals. That's the wellness industry. These are the people that just want to help our bodies be well, so we don't have to deal with sickness and disease. We just want to stay strong and healthy. That's the wellness industry. And his prediction was, in the next 10 years, that wellness industry, that the people were ready for a revolution. They were ready for a change, that the everyday Joe said, man, there's got to be a way just to make my body stay strong and stay healthy. And he said, it's going to be $1 trillion industry. And if you are looking at building a business in the next 10 years, it needs to be in the wellness industry. That was what his book was. It's still available. You can find it. He's got a website, all kinds of good stuff out there. The book is old, but the information, he was wrong. We did not become $1 trillion industry in 10 years. No, right now, the global wellness industry is a $3.4 trillion market. And just, if you can't wrap your mind around what $3.4 trillion is, that is, so you know, 3.4 times larger than the worldwide pharmaceutical industry all put together. That is astounding. See, money is being spent in the wellness industry. It is. Money is going to be spent on essential oils. It just is. The question is, how big a piece of the pie would you like? How big of a piece of the pie do we want Young Living to have? Because that increase, it's going to keep going. It's going to keep getting bigger because people want it. And Young Living's 2015 U.S. income disclosure statement, I don't know how well you can see this, and there's also stuff on the other side. So you can go to my website, and on my website, shannonhudsonyl.com, you can download this income disclosure statement, and you can read the whole thing, all the nitty-gritties, all the different pieces. You can also go to Young Living's virtual office, and you can look in there and get the income disclosure statement. I venture to say that you could go to Google and you could type in Young Living 2015 U.S. income disclosure statement, and it would pop up so you can read it. So I'm going to enlarge a few things here so we can really get a good picture. When you look at it, it talks about rank. It talks about the average hours that people work per rank and the percentages of all the distributors that achieve those ranks, their lowest checks, highest checks, the median check, and then the average check. Then it also breaks us down into the average annual income and how many months on average it took to achieve this rank. So you can see some cool stuff right here. So for star, we're going to go here for star. So some people, the quickest people have hit star is in that 1 month. The highest is in 240 months. So there's a pretty big wide range. Average, there you go. Then look over here at Royal Crown Diamond, because this is the beginning ranks all the way down to the highest ranks. So we're going to come all the way back down here. Now, the lowest amount of time that it took somebody to achieve the rank of Royal Crown Diamond in 2015 was 17 months. The highest, 230 months that it took them. That's like 10 years that it took to achieve that rank. Now, the average was 126. So that's interesting. That's interesting to me because that means it's possible. That means that you can do it as quickly or you could take as much time as you would like to take. And I want to expand a few other things here. So this is the average income. So I'm going to bring up here, this is a piece cut out of it. Again, if you want to see the whole thing, you can go to my website, but this is the rank. So your average member in Young Living, their average check that they made, their monthly average was around $1. So a member is somebody that gets into Young Living and they just use stuff. They order it from themselves. They do a little here, a little there. And I want you to know that this right here, this is the most important part of your organization. Members are 93% of your team. That's your members. So for those of you that are all sitting at gold and silver and platinum and all these higher ranks, and you're like, I give my time to my business builders. I'm only going to work with my business builders. I want you to remember, I want you to think right now, what would happen if 93% of the people that currently order in your organization, if you lost 93% of the sales? Whoa. It's huge. We need to take care of our members. And then we have stars. The average star in Young Living makes around $79 a month, which means they're able to get some juice, they're able to get some oils, they're able to do a little something. Then we have our average senior star. The average senior star in Young Living makes around $255 a month. $255 is enough for them to get some juice, get some oils, make sure they get their taxes taken care of, and even a little bit going towards the house if they wanted to. The average executive in Young Living. The average executive in Young Living gets a check for around $549 every month. Again, this is enough that even if they choose to only invest back into their company, half of that, they still have enough to be able to take care of some living expenses, be able to take care of some groceries, some car payments, that type of a thing. That's a big deal. And now, then you have the average silver. Now, things get very interested from executive to silver. There's some changes that take place. And what happens is that the average silver makes around $2,221 every single month. To me, that's impressive. That is over $26,000 a year coming in that wasn't there. This is in addition to whatever you are already doing. This doesn't have to be in place of. This doesn't mean I quit school and I decided to go and become a silver. This is something you can do in addition to. This is abundance. This is massive increase. And then you have your golds. The average gold in Young Living makes $6,000 a month. Every single month. That is $72,000 a year. Some people have done that in a month. Some people, it took 239 months, right? It just depends on you and your journey and what you can invest into it, what kind of timeline you have. But understand, at platinum, so platinum, diamond, crown diamond, and royal crown diamond, when you get to this point, less than 0.1% of the people ever make it up here. This is doing some stuff other people aren't willing to do. Less than 3% of the people achieve the rank of gold. Less than 0.3%. Now, this is a big deal. The average platinum in Young Living is making $14,700 a month. Is there abundance to be made in Young Living? Is there income that can come in? You bet that is $176,000 annually. That's big. Then you got our diamonds. Diamonds, the average diamond. So some make more, some make less. The average diamond is making $38,750 every single month, which is $465,000 a year. That the shortest time it took somebody in 2015 was 10 months. But again, look at the difference. Some of those it took 221 months. Crown diamond. Crown diamonds in Young Living on average make $74,335 for a grand total of $892,000. Now there are taxes that come out of it. There are expenses. There are trips that we go on. There are things that we do. We work. We sow some of our money back in, but I guarantee you we have increase over and above expected. I mean, this is huge. Again, 14 months. What could be different in your life from a year and a half from now? That's totally on you. What could you do? What could happen? Then you've got Royal Crown Diamond. The average Royal Crown Diamond in Young Living makes $141,000 every single month. That is $1,702,000 annually. That whole money in the hands of good people can do amazing things. What would you do? What would you do with that increase? Who would you help? How would you help them? Where would you live? What would be different? Because see, the abundance, you can choose which level of abundance you want. You can. You can choose what you're willing to work for. Are you comfy just having that extra 79 so you can get your bottle of oil and have your juice? That's fantastic. Be excited about that. Did you achieve the rank of silver in that $2,000? That is good. That is making your family be able to be comfortable. You're able to do some of the vacations that you weren't able to do, and you're happy and you're comfortable and you don't want to invest any more hours. That's okay. Be proud of that. Continue sharing. Just take your time. Be okay with it. But if you're one of the many people out there that are saying, what is the possible abundance? How far could I go if I really decided to do the work? How far could you go? There hasn't been a limit set yet. See, there's not a point where Young Living says, okay, that's as much as we pay out. It doesn't work that way. The percentages are still there. The growth is still there. The possibility of how fast somebody can go, there's no limit. Young Living doesn't say, nope, we can't let you do it if you did it before 17 months. No, you could do it in 12 months if you chose to. You're going to have to work your hiney off. Please do not misunderstand me when I'm sharing this. This right here takes work. It does. You have to be willing to do what other people aren't willing to do. It's going to take work. It's going to take time. It's going to take sweat. It is going to take frustration. Those things are going to happen. You're going to have to be willing to do, if you want something you have never had before, you have to be willing to do something you have never done before. Because the truth is, 0.1% of those people that are enrolled in Young Living will never do what it takes to make it to the top. They won't. It's the 0.1% of the ones that do the work. It takes work. It takes effort. It takes being okay with going out there and being told no over and over and over again. That's how that works. Abundance. The word abundance has multiple different definitions in the dictionary. It's an extremely plentiful or over-sufficient quantity, overflowing fullness, abundance of the heart, affluence, wealth, the enjoyment of abundance. Synonyms are things like copious and plenteous and generosity. See, these are the things that can happen. The opposite, you've got scarcity. You have lack. You have insufficient. Abundance is a choice. Abundance is a mindset. Abundance is saying, I am willing to put aside, to do something different, to get out there, to be uncomfortable. Because when you have abundance, that is having more than enough. More than enough to not just take care of my family and my family's needs and my closest friends, to be able to pour into their lives, to pour energy into their lives. Some of us were just so overwhelmed and we don't have an abundance of time. We don't have an abundance of energy and we can't. I talk to people, they're like, Shannon, I want to share, but I don't have the energy. I don't have the time. See, that's a part of abundance, is having enough to pour into other people's lives, having enough to give to others, having enough financially. When I walk into somebody's house and there is a need, I know that if I choose to, I can meet that need financially. I can make sure that they have things that they need. I can make sure I take care of that. If I see a cause that I want to support, I have more than enough to take care of our family. I have enough to give away to others. And that's what it's supposed to be. And I want you to know that scarcity, I hear people say, but everybody already knows about Young Living. No, they don't. There's so many people. There is an abundance of people that are still waiting for you. They're waiting for you and your information and what you have to share. There is more than enough for all of us. We don't have to fight over distributors. We don't have to fight over, I talk to this person. No, I talk to this person. There's more than enough. If that person wants to work with you, go. Have my blessing. Because there's more than enough. There is overflow. Overflow is what we give when there's so much, people can get it from us even without us trying. That is an overflow. That's when we have so much to give. And there's so much love in our heart and so much energy and so much time, because it's like a feedback loop. Abundance, when you give it away, when there is overflow, when you are putting out there and you are sharing your oils and you are sharing your knowledge, it comes back on you tenfold. It just rolls back. It does. It's just that generosity, that it's just so much. That's overflow. And it's overflow in every single area of your life. And when it comes to Young Living, you got to know you're going to have to push for your next. You are, especially if you've been sitting in a rank for a while, or you're looking at your OGV and you're going, it's lower this month than last month. You are going to have to put on your big girl pants. You're going to have to put on your big boy pants. And you personally, you as an individual, need to go out there and start pushing and enrolling for yourself. I keep hearing people say, if my team would just blah, 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 blah. But see, it's not their job. It is yours. This is your business. What is your dream? What is your desire? What is it you want? Because you got to be willing to push for it. Because 90 days, 120 days, a year, it's going to come and go either way. The 1090 plan, the page that we work with, that 90-day plan, 90 days is going to happen no matter what. 3 months from now, you can be having the same exact conversation. If my people would just... Or you could go create the abundance. Create that energy all over again. This isn't just working with the people that are already in your organization. This is about talking about the people who have not yet been given the opportunity to hear about Young Living. That's why I push the talking to strangers. I know some of you guys are going, I've heard this before. I'm saying it again because you need to know it again. There's a world of people out there that still do not know that there is an option. And you've been in. You get to play with our oils. You get to play with our supplements. You've been introduced to this amazing world, this world where abundance is a possibility. And you've been sitting there and you've been thinking about it and you've been stewing about it. But what if you just got up and you started working it again, just like you did when you first got in, just like you did when you were still excited, and you start getting out there and doing the work. And when I say 90 days, that is chatting with 10 people a day, 6 days a week. That is 60 people a week. That's just that intention, 90 days. I'm not saying for a lifetime you have to work this hard, but if you want something you have never had, what do you have to do? Something you've never done. So go out there and chat with 10 people a day for 6 days. What if 10% said yes? What if? That's a big deal. That means 60 people said, hey, what do you got to offer? What are you thinking about? And then you can invite 12 to 14 people every single week to see your presentation. So you sit down and you invite people. You do your thing. What if 10% said yes? Right? And then go a step further. Choose, make a conscious decision that I personally will enroll 4 new members every month. Because see, we set it up with our people. It's 3 a month. You need to enroll 3 people every single month, 3 new people on your front line, your teams. That's what you need to be out there doing. That's the goal. That's the plan. Other things that we have going on. We have all kinds of different education that you can look at. You can follow us on our Facebook, our group pages, our Periscope, YouTube, our website. We have all kinds of free PowerPoints, audios. We've got CDs and audios that are for purchase. We've got great events coming up. We're going to be in Florida, New Jersey, Tennessee, Toronto. We're working on getting all that stuff taken care of, and this is all by the end of the year. We also have a big, huge event going on November 4th and 5th right here in Michigan. We've got Jim Bob coming back. Jim Bob's going to be there working with us and partnering with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm teaching. We have got so many great speakers, and if you want information on who we have coming and where they're going to be, go to shannonhudsonwild.com, go to the events page, and you can see all of our events. You can register. They are open to the public. Everything we have is for everybody to share. And then October 15th, for my peeps here in Michigan, we are doing the Live Your Passion. We're going to have a lunch and learn. You can get the details on my website. And everybody else, hook up with a Live Your Passion rally that Young Living is hosting all over the world. Get the information out there. Go get around other people. Bring guests with you to everything you do. God bless, and we will see you at the next webinar.